How you doing there, folks? Today is Sunday, February 15th. Happy Valentine's Day out there to all you ladies, even though I know none of you are watching me. According to the statistics, it's all men. Go figure. Anyway, today is Sunday. We're going to do a video here on, obviously, handguns. In particular, well, let's call it U.S. military handguns, okay? We have a Colt 45 ACP and a Beretta 92F, not FS, a 92F. This one was built in 1982. This one was built, I'm going to say, somewhere between 92 and 95. And this one I've had for quite a long while. It's old. It's beat up. It is a Colt Mark IV Series 80. So we get that on there. Combat Commander model. Okay. It is really beat up. I bought this gun for $400 from a buddy of mine years ago. It has a broken rear sight on it. You see that up here? It's all busted off. That's a story in and of itself. We'll talk about that. Bought it from my buddy Merkel. It came with, when I bought it from him, nice little gun case. It's not a, I don't believe it's Colt. It doesn't say Colt on it anywhere. Just a generic hard case. 2 magazines. The original Colt 45 magazines. Even got the little horse on there. 8 rounds it holds. I've got them loaded with hollow points, of course. And then an extra Kimber magazine it came with that he had. And a Phobos holster, paddle holster. And this holster got me into really digging Phobos holsters. In fact, there's one over here for the Beretta too, but we'll get into that later. But this is the Phobos, and I really like this holster. It locks in real good. It's quite comfortable for me. This one is not adjustable. There's no screws that you can adjust it and the angle or anything. So the way you see it, it's an outside of the waistband holster, is the way you would carry it. I fell in love with it. When I bought it, it was several years, about 10 years after I had sold all my guns, for reasons that I'm not going to get into. And I had bought the Ruger 357 new model Black Hawk. I had already bought that decades ago. And then I bought this off of my buddy. I was looking for a semi-auto. I wanted a 45. I didn't want a 9. I did buy, back in the 90s, 94, 95, somewhere around there, I bought a Glock. I think it was a 19, and I just did not like it. I'm not a fan of Glocks. Nothing against them. Apparently they're great guns, according to a lot of people. A lot of people own them. A lot of people shoot them. I'm not knocking them. It's just not for me. I'm not a fan of striker fire. I do like a thumb safety on my weapons, on my handguns. We're going to do another video about the Smith & Wessons that I own, and one that has a thumb safety and one that does not. And I'll get into that later, about that in great detail on the next video. But this Colt 45 I carried for years, well over a decade. I carried this gun. I remember going with a couple of friends. We went to a gun show one day and had it on my hip, and I thought, well, maybe, just maybe, if I find something else, I'll trade it in. But I just fell in love with the gun and everything else, and I thought, okay, I'll take it into the show with me. So I emptied it. You know, I locked the slide back, and you go in, and they you have to go in with it empty, and they run a zip tie through it, you know, so that, you know, through the magazine. As you can see, the gun is not loaded. There's nothing in it. The magazines are both over there loaded, and the extra hollow point round, which is a Remington. We'll get into them in a minute. But when the officer that checked the gun in at the door picked it up, he was carrying a Glock on him, and actually he had a Glock. He had a 40. And he's like, "Oh man, you're one of them old school." And he picked up the gun. He goes, "Oh my God, this thing is heavy." I said, "Yeah, it's a real gun. It's not plastic." But this is the 45 that I own, and I've had it for a long time. I haven't fired this gun in a few years. There's several reasons. Number one, the slide is no longer locking back for me when the gun is empty. When you fire the last round, the slide doesn't lock back like this. I was out on the range shooting some rounds off, and I put 8 rounds down range, and next thing I know, I squeezed the trigger again, and click. What the hell? I thought I had a misfire. I wasn't counting. I was just looking for the slide to lock back, and turns out the gun was empty. Okay, so I take the next magazine, load it in, fire off 8 more rounds, same thing. Now this time I'm counting them. I get to the 8th round, nothing. And it popped back and the hammer dropped down just like there was another round in the chamber, but there wasn't. There was nothing in the gun. It was completely empty. I took it all apart. I had cleaned it prior to going out there that day. And I thought, well, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe, just maybe, I didn't put the gun back together the correct way. I don't know. It is kind of tricky. It's not tricky. It can be a pain in the butt, especially with the end here, trying to get the spring and the cap and all that. It could be a royal pain. And this spring is heavy. I think it's gotten worse. I think it needs to be replaced. It does need to be replaced. It's so old. So that's one of the reasons I don't fire it anymore. I do keep it in the house. I keep it loaded in the house with hollow points. I don't carry it anymore. I will eventually find a gunsmith, take it to them. I've looked it up on YouTube and tried to figure it out and looked into it, and I thought, you know what? I'll just take it to a gunsmith. I'll pay. I'll have them put some, what are they, iridium, I think they're called, the glowing sights. I'd like to get on this and have the gun worked over and see if they can clean it up better than I can. I mean, it's all scuffed and it's battle scarred. I mean, you can see the scuffs on the metal, especially up here from holstering it over the years. The grip is all worn out, and let's get into that. Let's see, hold on a second, getting old, my eyes are getting old. Mr. Robert Thompson, thank you for the comment on the 357 video. I had asked about the grip, and lo and behold, look what's on there. I never realized it. I've owned these two guns for over 20 years and never realized they both came with the same grip manufacturer on them. Never. It never dawned on me to look at them or whatever. The Pachmayr, Pachmayr grips are what's on my Black Hawk, Mr. Thompson says a few days ago. And turns out, same ones on here. Now, the funny thing was, after he had commented on that, and I found out what they were, the grips on the Black Hawk, new model Black Hawk, I took the grips off of that gun that day, and it turns out it's a one piece, just like this. It wraps around the gun, and then there's nothing on the back. That one's the opposite on the 6-shooter. It wraps around the back and on the front, and then the set screw, if you recall, hold on a second, I have my 45 out here. I always have this one with me. The set screw on this is kind of towards the back of the handle, where the set screw on that with the Pachmayr, I don't know how to say it, it's called the Pac-Man grips, was towards the front. turns out when I took it off, it's just on the opposite side of the spring of where this one would be. Or I'm assuming the original grips on that gun, the Black Hawk. So I found a bunch of them online. I just don't know what I want, and I'm going to order probably 2 sets of grips, different grips for that Black Hawk. And then when I order them and get them, I'm in no hurry right now. I'll do a video on changing out the grips on that, and I'll show you the whole thing. But that's for a future. Probably this summer I'll do that. But turns out I never realized it. I thought that's awfully funny. Got the same damn grips on the 45 that I do on the 357. Okay? Who'd have thunk it? But this thing, I mean, it's a Colt 45 1911 ACP. The rounds that I chamber in this gun, I like these for this gun. It shoots good with them. The HTP. Okay. Green and yellow box from Remington. Jacketed hollow points. They are nice. I really like them. I've had Winchester for this gun, but for some reason, just like any other gun, it really likes these rounds. We will fire this gun one more time this coming spring. I've been, like I said, I've been collecting milk jugs. I want to fire in the milk jugs filled with water and check these hollow points, all of them. For every gun that I own, all the hollow points that I own, I want to see what they look like. I've got a ton of milk jugs. I love my milk. So we're going to be doing that in the future. So they're the rounds that I use out of this gun. Now, let's see. We mentioned the holster, the gun case. The busted rear sight. There's a hell of a story about that. My buddy Merkel was over at my house, and at the time I lived in a subdivision, and he was over on a Friday night or whatever. We had off the next day, and the two of us we're into Harleys. We love our Harleys. I've got 2 of them. I've got a 92 Sportster sitting over here, and then just outside that door I've got a 2000, the garage door. Well, you can't see it. The garage door, I have a 2017 Road King. And he was on his Fat Boy, I forget what year it was. He had a Fat Boy at the time. And on the back, he had not a saddlebag, a tour pack, a soft tour pack, that he had mounted on the backrest. And he didn't have a holster for this gun at the time. He would just carry it in his waistband, usually in his back, tuck it down the back of his pants. And he came up to my house. We had a few beers. We were shooting shit, talking, having a good old time, and it got late. I told him I had his crap out in the spare room. Nah, I got to go home. He lived not far from me, just a few, 2-3 miles actually from me. And he went out, put the gun, because it was uncomfortable to carry in his back or in his waistband while he was riding the bike, put the gun in his tour pack, and then decided, I got to take a piss. Came back in the house, took a leak, went back out, fired up the bike, and drove away without zippering the tour pack up. First speed bump he hit down the street, this sucker bounced out, hit the ground, busted this. Now this was a Friday night. I had to work the next day, Saturday. And I'm at work, and I get a phone call from him. Hey, did I leave my gun at your house? No, you took it out, and I saw you put it in the tour pack of the bike. He's like, it's not there. He's like, are you sure? I called my stepdaughter who was at home. I said, look around the house, look in the bathroom. He went to he went to the bathroom. Maybe he put it on the top of the toilet tank or sat it on the sink or something. Go look. She comes back, Dad, no, it's not there. It's not here. It's not at the house. I said, look around out front. Maybe if he, she looked around out front. She gets back on. Nope, it's not here, Dad. There is no gun here. I call him back. I said, dude, it's not at my house. A few hours later, I get another phone call from him. Found my gun. It's at the police station. Oh, jeez. Here, the neighbor down the street went to go to work that Saturday morning, walked outside and found the gun laying in the middle of the street, loaded. Well, long story short, he got lucky. Now, this was up in Pennsylvania, okay? Their gun laws are pretty strict. They could have taken his permit to carry. He did have a permit to carry concealed. He could have gotten a whole lot of trouble. But they told him, don't do it again. You do it again, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. He picked up the gun, brought it home. A couple of years later, he decided he didn't want it no more, sold it to me. And I've had it ever since. And just never got around. Believe it or not, I can shoot this thing damn accurately with a broken sight. And that's the truth. I mean, it is spot on accurate with that broken sight back there. So I never bothered to change it. I did file it down because it was a little sharp, and if I carried it on my waist, and especially in the summer, and it was open, and I'd rub my arm against it and cut my forearm on the damn sharp metal, so I filed it down. But other than that, it's been that way for, oh God, 20 years. I've been shooting this gun, carrying this gun. So, U.S. military had the 45. Got rid of that in somewhere around 1984, 85. They switched over to the Beretta 9mm. This is a Beretta 92F. I'm trying to see it. Let me put my glasses back on so I can see where it's stamped. Other side, of course. Okay, now I'm going to put my finger in front of it. Let's see if you can see where it says 92F. Right there. Okay. It's a 92F. You can tell on the trigger guard there is a series of stamps. I'm trying to look over the gun to see it. Right here on the trigger guard, and the code is AI, I believe, and that tells you what year, according to somebody I spoke to. I got on Beretta's website, and lo and behold, it was from 1982. So this was the precursor to the FS. Okay, it is basically same as an FS, same style. Okay, it's got the open top. I love this gun. It's got the decocker. Okay, ambidextrous decocker, and as you can see, there's nothing in it. The gun is completely empty. All right, nothing in the chamber, nothing up my sleeve. So I'm not handling a loaded gun and waving it around. But this one I picked up about 2 years ago. Again, shout out to the Bunker. I love that store. They got a lot of antique guns there. It's where I bought the double barrel. That's where I found this, and I'll be going back for plenty more in the future. They've got some really, really cool guns. I would love to get a Coach gun, double barrel, the short barrel shotgun. They got some old bolt action hunting rifles that, and their stock is constantly rotating. They buy and sell used guns. Great store down on the square across from the courthouse. It's called Jones's, I believe, Antiques, and the Bunker used to be in the basement, and they moved it up to the first floor because nobody went in there for antiques. They all wanted the guns, myself included. I didn't care about the antiques. Can I go downstairs and take a look at the guns? That's what I wanted. Now they got them upstairs on the first floor. You've got an appointment only. So if you, I'm not going. All right, that's in Cookeville, Tennessee. All right, Middle Tennessee, Cookeville, the Bunker, on the square, right across from the courthouse. Great store, love them. Those guys are fantastic. It's a father and a son that run the place. They own it and run it, and they just great couple of guys there. You know, great father and son team, and they sell a lot of guns. But I went in there one day looking for. I went down to the courthouse and I paid my taxes, my property taxes, and I thought, you know what? Let me run into the Bunker and see what they got. I was looking for like a. My neighbor got one. My buddy got one, a Derringer, and he got one in 38 special. And I thought, you know, I would love to get a Derringer. And I don't even believe they make them anymore. I don't think any company makes them anymore. You got to find a used one. I think I could be wrong. If you know of a company that makes a 2-shot Derringer, put it in the comments, please. I would love to know who it is. Sometimes I'm lazy, or I just forget to look it up. And it's one of those things, not lazy, just forgot to look it up. But I went in there looking for a Derringer or an old police revolver 38 special. I still want one, like an old Smith & Wesson from the 70s or something. And walked in there. They showed me a bunch of revolvers. They showed me a bunch of Derringers. I couldn't find one in the round I liked. Most of the ones they had were 22s, LRs. I wasn't interested in that. But as I'm walking around, I see this in the gun case. My eyes lit up. I always wanted a Beretta. Since they came out, I wanted a Beretta. I love the look of them. And I saw this, and it had the wood grips. Original grips. It's got the Beretta logo on there, you know, on both sides. I actually had to glue one back in. It kept falling out. But I saw this, and I thought, oh my God, is that what I think it is? And the guy, I said, can I see that Beretta? And he pulled it out, and I'm looking it over. And I thought, holy cow. Now this one came with, I'll find where I put them down. It didn't come with a 15 round magazine. I bought this. It came with, there's a 15 round there. Military surplus. I bought a bunch of them after I bought the gun. It came with this one, the original 10 round. Okay, it's just a 10 round mag, and I didn't want 10 rounds. You could tell from this diamond shape, sort of whatever you want to call it, pencil shape, cut out. That's, I believe, how they changed them from 15, a double stack 15, to a single stack 10 round by elongating this indent. If you look at the normal ones, here's the diamond shape here, and it's nowhere near as long. It is what it is, you know. But this thing, when I bought it, now I already had a 9mm, so I already had rounds for it. Brought it home, loaded this magazine up. I got to the 5th round, and I thought, what the hell? There's got to be something wrong with this. It was so hard to load this magazine after you got 5 rounds in it. The last 5 rounds were a nightmare to load in there. Just a royal nightmare. I couldn't take it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I loaded one in, and I thought, do I really want to chamber one? You know, and then have to put another one back in the mags? I did, and it's just a pain in the butt. I immediately got online. I wanted 15 round mags anyhow, and I bought, what did I buy? 3 of them. 3 military surplus 15 round magazines. I said, that's it. I'm ordering these. I got them a good deal on them because I bought more than one from a company. I don't even know who it was. I can't remember who the company was. But I found this downtown at a military surplus store we have downtown. Found this down there. It was a good price. So I bought a extra mag holder. But this thing I mean, it's these I got at a good price. They load very easy. I don't have an issue loading these. I don't have a speed loader or anything for them. I just load them, you know, like a normal person, one at a time, and no issues loading these magazines. Originally, I went with, oh, and it came in this, I don't know if this is from Beretta or it's just an aftermarket soft case. I think it's just an aftermarket soft case. If you know, there's, again, no logo, no stamp, you know, nothing on the zipper to tell you the manufacturer. I actually like it. I like the color. It's kind of like velour, and kind of ribbed, and it's a nice soft case that it came in. I was surprised when they handed it to me in this. I don't know. I like it. It's a nice little soft case. Holster. I got online, and first thing I did was ordered me a Phobos. Okay. Now, when I got this holster, I ordered it, came a few days later. I put it in here. Now, I don't know if you saw that pressure. It hits a stop right about there, and then you got to push it in a little further. There are adjustment screws. One. I didn't like it. It's the first Phobos holster, and I own several Phobos holsters. Teddy. This is Teddy. Teddy bear. Not now, buddy. I love you, but not now. I own several Phobos holsters. This one for the 45. I have one on my hip for my 9mm. That's a Phobos, adjustable Phobos. I also have one for sitting right here, my 380. Okay, it's another one. In fact, this is a 380 Shield EZ. This is a 9 Shield EZ, and it's the exact same holster. We're going to do another video on both of these guns at the same time. Talk about them, show them to you, show you the differences with them. But there's 4 Phobos holsters right here, and I've had them for other guns in the past that I've sold, and sold them with the gun. And Teddy, get down. So, I love Phobos. I do not like this holster. It's got only one adjusting point, and I'm not happy with it. So I happen to be out at my local Dunham's. I love Dunham's Sporting Goods. And I found this, a Bulldog. Never heard of it before. I think it's made in China. I don't know. But it's got a locking mechanism that locks the gun in. Now this thing is big, it's bulky, and to get it on your pants, to get it over your, you know, it sits inside. It's got a rubber pad here, you know, goes on in the waistband on the outside. It's not a concealed carry. But when you put it in, you hear that click? You cannot, I mean, you can't get this gun out of here. It will not come out. It's got 4 different points for adjusting it. You have to hit the button here to slide the gun out. And I like where it puts my finger. When I slide the gun out, my finger is right where I want it to be. Right above that trigger. Not on it, above it. So I can quick if I have to. Now, with that being said, to draw it real quick, this is now the gun is unloaded. There's no magazine in it. Nothing in the chamber, okay? This gun, let's do this, and we're going to show you. It's a double to single action. I love that. I love that. I've shot a lot of double action revolvers over the years. I'm used to that heavy trigger pull, and to have it on the first one is awesome. And then, of course, when you fire it, the slide goes back to chamber the next round, the hammer's automatically cocked. So the next round, you could see the slop in this. There's not a lot, but you hit that wall and then break it, and it's got a really soft trigger. Now, you can see when you cock the hammer, it's got half cock right there, okay? Which will give you some more slop, all right, in the trigger versus there's very little slop there. Give it a half cock, there's a little bit more, so you got less of a distance to pull it. Or watch the trigger all the way back. Wait, there's the break where it breaks. It's got the decocker, okay, ambidextrous. It's on both sides, right here and here. In fact, let me push it down on this side so you can use either side. Now the decocker, for those that don't know, we're going to show you. Let's see if you can see inside here. You'll see the firing pin right there, okay? And that's the decocker will move that firing pin out of the way. You'll see it rotate up. See how it's rotating up? It's back down. But you'll see it rotate up, and then the hammer slams down. But now the firing pin is facing up. So you can carry it like this if you wanted to, or you can carry it this way like a revolver, a double action revolver, all right, where you can just pull it and fire, okay? Love it. Love this gun. I am so happy for the purchase. When I purchased this gun, I have wanted one for decades. I finally got one. I love the look of it. I love that it's an older gun. I love the antique guns. I mean, I've got 1, 2 double barrel shotgun, and now I find out that the Ruger that I have, the Black Hawk, that's one. I got 5 antique guns that I didn't realize. Cool. I like them. I like the antique guns. I like guns that the military used or use. Especially the handguns. Well, not necessarily the handguns, but the rounds that they chambered, that the military used. You know, like the 30-06, the 308. I love it. I don't have a 308. I want to get a 308. I'm going to have to head down to the bunker and see if they got an old 308 bolt action down there. I would love to get one. Not sure what kind. I'll have to see what they have. But, you know, stuff like that. The 45 ACP. The 45 Colt. The 9mm. You know, 223, 5.56. I do have a Smith & Wesson Sport 2 in the house. We'll do a video on that in the future, and we'll take that out and put some rounds down range. I got all kinds of different size magazines for that gun. But that was that's what I like about. I like the military rounds, the different rounds that they use. So with that being said, folks, I think I'm going to step off here. So you got to see today my old Colt 45 and my old Beretta 9mm. And remember, as always, do not try this at home. I am what you call not a professional. And thank you for watching the handgun video.